You never believed in curses, not really. Sure, the stories were fun, good for tourist brochures and campfire scares, but curses? Those were for people looking for excuses when things went wrong. So when Dr. Chasm offered you a spot on an excavation team, you didn't hesitate. 10 years in the field, and this was your biggest opportunity yet, an undiscovered tomb buried deep beneath the necropolis outside of Cairo, unlooted, undisturbed, and untouched. You descended into the shaft before the others, flashlight gripped tight in your glove. Dust clings to the air like spiderwebs. The sandstone walls press in around you, ancient and silent. A cool draft snakes up from below, even though the desert above blisters with heat. The rope creaks around you. You don't look up. The bottom comes sooner than you expected, your boots landing softly on centuries of dust. Your light cuts through the darkness and you see it, a doorway. Not a sealed stone doorway like you'd expected, just open as if waiting for you. Your radio crackles. You down there yet? You press the button. Yep, found the entrance, going in. You step forward. There's something strange about the threshold, not just the symbols etched into the sides. Those are common enough. No, it's the faint burn you feel in your skin when you pass through, like you're walking through static. It raises the hairs on your arms and makes your mouth dry. Inside, the air is different. It's thicker and heavier. The light from your torch bounces off gold leaf and carved figures lining the walls. Gods and pharaohs, someone else. A figure scratched out in every mural, erased from history. Your light catches something at the end of the hallway. A sarcophagus. Massive, black stone, ornate gold accents that still shimmer despite their centuries. You approach slowly, the lid sealed, just barely. Not with stone or wax, but with something dark, like organic. You run your finger along it, and it smells like earth and rot. A whisper fills your ears. You spin around, and there's nothing, just darkness. Then you see the walls again, closer this time. The figure scratched out. The figure that's scratched out, it's moving. You blink. The pose changes, first arms crossed, then reaching outward. Another whisper, clearer now. You know that voice, it's your own. You back away, something cracks beneath your boot. You look down and see bones, small ones, animal maybe. You can't tell. You kick them away and turn back towards the shaft, and it's gone. No rope, no ladder, just wall. You take a breath, then another. You're fine. You're just disoriented. Your radio's clipped to your vest, after all. You press the button. Static. You press again. Louder static. Then a voice. But not the one you expected.
You have come for me.
You drop the radio, your torch flickers, the darkness around you bends. The sarcophagus is open. You didn't hear it, didn't see it move, but the lid lies beside you now, covered in that black, tar-like sealant, and inside is nothing. Empty, or it was. The figure stands now between you and the wall, 7 feet tall, wrapped in linen, darkened with age, its form more shadow than flesh. The bandages pulse as if it's breathing. The face is hidden, but its eyes, oh God, its eyes, glowing like dying embers.
You broke the seal.
You stumble back, but there's nowhere to go. The walls are too close now, closer than before. The paintings twist and squirm like something's living under them. Your thoughts aren't your own anymore. You remember another time, another name. You are in a different body. A throne room, a betrayal, pain and fire. They bound you, they buried you, and they forgot you.
I remember,
the voice says. So do you. Because the mummy isn't just in a tomb. The mummy is you. Your hands tremble as you look at them, wrapped in ancient linen, darkened with blood. Your chest aches with pressure, like something inside of you is waking up. You scream, but it comes out dry and hollow. Not air, just dust. The figure stands before you, unmoving, and slowly, it lifts its bandaged hands. They mirror your own. You are staring at a reflection. Your flashlight dies, and the darkness takes shape. There is no tomb, no dig site, no team waiting above. There is only the curse. A loop, a punishment, and you finally come home. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. What we're talking today is about Universal's Mummy. Pretty cool. I think everybody's kind of familiar with it. Most of us, from my generation at least, are familiar with the Brendan Fraser Mummy series, and the Tom Cruise Mummy remake, which we're not going to talk about that, but I mean, we are going to talk about it. It's a Universal Mummy, but yeah. If you like what we do here, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know down below what you think of mummies, and let's get into it. Before Brendan Fraser's wisecracks and Tom Cruise's undead chaos, before CGI sandstorms and cinematic universes, there was a story, one draped in bandages and cursed by time. Universal's The Mummy franchise has haunted screens since 1932, evolving with every generation. But how did it all begin? What ancient texts inspired this terrifying tale, and why does The Mummy keep coming back again and again? Let's unwrap the legacy of the mummy, from ancient myth to movie icon. The idea of the undead wrapped in linen isn't a Hollywood invention. The real roots of the mummy myth come back from ancient Egyptian burial customs and the cultural fascination with the afterlife. When British archaeologists uncovered Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, the world was gripped by Egyptomania. Media fueled the idea of a pharaoh's curse, after several deaths were linked, often dubiously, to those who disturbed tombs. It was this sensationalism, not ancient scripture, that planted the seed for Hollywood's horror. These real-world events would soon merge with fiction in a way that would change horror cinema forever. Universal Studios had already struck gold with Dracula and Frankenstein by the early 1930s. Hoping to cash in on the exotic and the eerie, they turned the idea of an Egyptian priest. But The Mummy from 1932, directed by Carl Freund, wasn't based on a novel like its horror siblings. Instead, the screenplay, originally titled Cagliostro, was written by John L. Balderston, a former war correspondent who had covered the opening of Tutankhamun's tomb. Boris Karloff, fresh off his success as Frankenstein's monster, was cast as the ancient priest Imhotep. His character was loosely inspired by Egyptian figures, but the story was pure fiction, a forbidden romance, a resurrection, and a deadly obsession. Karloff's transformation into the mummy is legendary. Makeup artist Jack Pierce spent 8 hours wrapping Karloff in linen and applying prosthetics, though Karloff appears fully wrapped for only one scene. The image became iconic. Karloff's costume was so tight and stiff that he couldn't sit down between takes, so he leaned on a slanted board to rest. Unlike Dracula or Frankenstein, The Mummy didn't have a direct sequel. Instead, Universal rebooted the concept in the 1940s with The New Mummy, Charis. Films like The Mummy's Hand, The Mummy's Tomb, The Mummy's Ghost, and The Mummy's Curse turned the creature into a more silent, shambling monster than the tragic romantic figure Karloff portrayed. While entertaining, these films lacked the emotional depth and style of the original and leaned heavily into the formulaic horror tropes. In 1959, British studio Hammer Films brought The Mummy back to life, this time in full color, starring Christopher Lee as Charis and Peter Cushing as his adversary. Hammer's version was bloodier, sexier, and more brutal. It also pulled plot elements from the Universal sequels rather than the original 1932 film. Hammer produced a few more mummy films in the 60s and 70s, but none matched the impact of the first. After decades in a tomb, The Mummy got a major facelift, action-adventure style. Stephen Sommers' The Mummy from 1999 reimagined the concept as a swashbuckling thrill ride. Brendan Fraser starred as Rick O'Connell, and Rachel Weisz starred as Egyptologist Evelyn Carnahan. Arnold Vosloo played the resurrected Imhotep. The film was a huge hit, mixing Indiana Jones-style adventure with horror and comedy. The visual effects, while dated by today's standards, were groundbreaking at the time, especially the sandstorm face. I would argue that the visual effects still stand up to what we have today, honestly. The scarab beetles were a major fear factor for many viewers, but the CGI wasn't always there. Some were practical effects. Brendan Fraser nearly died during the hanging scene. He actually lost consciousness on set, and Arnold Vosloo insisted on doing many of his own stunts. The success spawned 2 sequels, The Mummy Returns in 2001 and Tomb of the Dragon Emperor in 2008, plus the spin-off The Scorpion King starring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Universal tried to reboot the franchise in their classic monster universe with The Mummy in 2017 starring Tom Cruise. This version flipped the script by making the mummy a woman, Princess Amenet, played by Sofia Boutella. It was meant to launch the Dark Universe, a cinematic universe of classic monsters. But the movie bombed. Critics cited a messy tone, a bland script, and too much focus on setting up sequels. The Dark Universe unraveled before it began. Still, the film has some defenders, especially for Boutella's performance and the horror-heavy prologue. Despite ups and downs, The Mummy remains a horror icon, from cartoons like Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog to comedic tales like Abbott and Costello Meet the Mummy. The creature has become a pop culture staple. Even Hotel Transylvania features a lovable mummy character, Murray. And in games from Call of Duty Zombies to Assassin's Creed Origins, the mummy keeps finding new life. So what makes the mummy endure? It's more than just fear of the undead. The mummy speaks to our anxiety about disturbing the past, about greed, about love that defies death, and the price we pay when we tamper with things best left buried. From Karloff's haunted stare to Fraser's whip-smart charm and Cruise's blockbuster bomb, each version reflects the era that it's made in. And maybe, like the creature itself, the mummy will rise again, wrapped in something new. If you enjoyed this deep dive into Universal's Mummy legacy, be sure to like, subscribe, leave me a comment down below, let me know what you think of Universal's Mummy. If I'm remembering correctly, there was something recently about Brendan Fraser and Rachel Weisz maybe coming back for a Mummy sequel. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I know Rachel Weisz wasn't in the 3rd movie. I don't know why she wasn't in the 3rd movie, but it was still supposed to be Evelyn that was in it. So, I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Mummy will come back. I know I would love to see Brendan Fraser back in that kind of role, but that's going to do it. Remember to check out the merch bar down below if you want some merch. That's always a great way to support the channel. There's a PayPal link up top in my bio somewhere if you want to support the channel that way. And yeah, I will see you guys on...
I cover the legends, the tales of old, where creatures stir, stories unfold. From cryptids to spirits, they call my name. I dive into the depths, I play the game. Ghosts and goblins, history's more. I'm bringing it to you like never before. In every mystery, in every tale, I uncover the truth where others fail.